What's up, everybody? We have Chosen, Cold Brew Gaming, and Dart Microtransactions here with us on the channel today. We're about to talk about all the news we received from Plarium on Reddit. So we had some sort of an event going on Reddit with all the mods answering questions and stuff. The community manager, aka Cyrilla, she gave us a lot of information there. But before we jump over into that, let's have a chat with the guys here. How you doing, guys?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Thanks for getting us together, Scratch. It's always fun.
I'm doing great,
next.
man. Doing great.
Okay.
As usual, so excited about the Clan v Clan that we have right now. Just you can't contain me. Can't contain the excitement. I just want to go back into the game and just farm uncommons and feed them to other uncommons.
I'm sorry that I took you away from the game at the moment, but hopefully you're gonna have a few minutes to spare in here with us from the CVC, from all that action.
Exactly.
You know? What about you, Dan? How you doing? Excited?
I'm doing great. You know, everyone always knows how I'm doing. I'm always just a random salty guy. So for my intro, I'll just hit all the keywords for your video: Raid, Shadow, Legends, Plarium, recent event, tier list, top legendaries, top epics. There you go. So now it's all in the algorithm for you, and on to the next one.
That sounds perfect. So we got a lot of spicy topics in here, guys. Like the main one, we're gonna start like with the main one, right? What is it? The dupe system. Isn't that like the spiciest of all? So we have.
You mean red stars?
Hmm?
You mean red stars from Marvel?
Yeah.
It's literally red stars, right?
See.
So we've been waiting for the dupe system for a long time now. It's kind of been promised in one of the videos Cyrilla made with some content creator. I think it was with Ash, if I remember it correctly, that will be dropping in the very first half of the year, correct? Was something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't want to be wrong about the exact date, but yeah, something like that.
Well, the date is not that important anyway. So anyway, they said it's going to be coming in the fall. But the whole situation regarding the dupe system, guys, is like, what exactly they're going to do to that dupe system? So I'm just going to quickly try to find that question and answer for all of you guys to be able to put it in writing.
They say somewhere in there, it's like they're going to do like +1, +2, +3 on the characters, which will make the characters quote unquote stronger, right? So you get percentage boost for each duplicate that you have of them. Isn't that basically what they're going to do here? That way the wells will well for 10 versions of them or whatever and get 85,000 billion percentage base stats or something.
Something like that. Like, honestly, I feel like whatever they're doing recently, all these actions that they're taking, CVC, I've seen so many people leaving, right? And once this dupe system is going to be out, I think that's going to be like the killer for the game. It's like they want to kill their own game. I feel like that's what they're doing. I don't know if they have some secret mastermind plan behind all this. They just don't care about what people want in a way or another. They don't care how other successful games, they've done their dupe systems, they've done their events, etc. I have no idea what they're doing, but this is literally like the wrongest thing ever to do as a dupe system. What do you guys think about it? We're gonna read it in a second once you guys give a bit of an input in here.
It's the same thing I always say. It's better than not having one, but it should be something else. That's my response every time they do something is like, okay, having Clan v Clan is technically better than not having it, but oh my gosh, it could have been 100 times better. It's the same thing with what they're describing. Like, we could talk till the sun comes up about better dupe systems. Like, they should allow you to trade dupes. So that would be like, if you pull your second, Visix, at least you could be like, okay, awesome. Like, now I could trade Visix to like somebody else for something at least, and it opens up options for trade, even though the only person that would want a Visix is probably someone new. So that's a bad example, but you know what I mean? Like, open the door to your players to do something. But yeah,
So, Exos Heroes was a game that blew up quickly and then killed their entire fan base basically instantly because they did cash grab really, really, really soon. So like what they did is every time somebody wanted, and this goes into the dupe system, don't worry, I have a point here, is that anytime somebody wanted something, they just implemented in the game in the most greedy way possible. So the dupe system, the way they did it was literally the same thing Raid's doing, which is they're called enhancements, and it's like +1, +2, +3. So you just get the same character and you just roll them into themselves, and then the character goes from like good to like hilarious. Right? Well, you would think that'd be awesome for the wells, but the problem is it destroyed the rest of the base because it just made the rich get richer and the poor get poorer once again, and it got crazier and crazier and crazier. And then people left, and not enough new people were coming in because all the old people were having negative PR to the newer people saying, "Don't do it." It's became a well war, and so no one wanted to join because it was well. And I'm just worried that it's going to be the same thing here.
Cold brew.
Yeah, I'm not really liking the idea of having just a stronger character because of a dupe. Because I know some people who have like, I don't know, an insane amount of hegemons, and they can do like, what's that gonna be? How's that gonna be the biggest nuker in the game? Is he
My
just
Nether
gonna
will be
eliminate
hilarious.
everything?
Like I know people,
like-
man, with 10 plus.
Well, it'll probably
duplicates of the
cap.
same
It'll probably
legendary.
cap. There'll be like enhance 1, enhance 2, enhance 3. Like there's no way they'll let it go enhance 99 and have some hegemon that just goes first and nukes everything. But maybe they will, I guess. But I bet you it caps. I don't know.
So here's the question, though, is if they do this system where you can make the legendary stronger and stronger, are they going to start scaling new content to the stronger versions of duplicates? And now you need the duplicate version of the we know they like to scale content to the new stuff in order to, monetize new power creep champions. It makes sense. Most games do this. I can't really blame them for that. But if they scale it and they make the legendaries better and then start scaling based upon that, then we really have more pay-gated content. You know what I mean?
So now is actually
the
the perfect time to read it because they do specify something regarding that. So when will a dupe system for legendary champions be released? Cyrilla answered. Good question. We will need to think about it. Thanks for bringing it up. Now, jokes aside, before I get kicked out of the subreddit. Out if you don't tell us the right answer. We know that you guys want details here. I will give you as much info as we have right now, no backing out. When coming up with the concept for the feature, we contemplated two main approaches: tweaking drop rates and making dupes more valuable by utilizing them for strengthening champions. So yes guys, that means that I have 5 Sifis. I'm gonna put 4 Sifis into the main one and I'm gonna make my Sifi god tier. So your Sifi, that's a single Sifi, is gonna be butter compared to my Sifi. That's kind of what it means. For several months, we were testing both of these in various forms in the sandbox environment, developing an in-game economic model for each simultaneously ascending influence of both of the in-game balance and conducting tests in the real production environment. So basically, they tried 2 different things. This one and another one that allows the player base to get some sort of value out of the dupes, which it doesn't agree with their economy, so they scrapped it off. Overall, there were 4 concepts that we examined in the beginning. Fast forward to the present and we put aside 3 of those. Probably the ones that all of us thought that they will be the dupe systems, right? So ascending, like exchanging champions or fragments or stuff like that. Those they were thrown aside because economically they're not great for the game. We evaluated.
Which means not great for Plarium.
Exactly. We evaluated pros and cons, and right now we are leaning more towards the second option, making dupes more valuable by utilizing them for strengthening champions. Now, I hope and I'm praying that the whole reason why they've done this was to get feedback regarding all the plans they have ahead for the game, which probably is not the thing that was right here. They just wanted to try and have some fun probably around. What do you guys think? They've done it just so they can get feedback, or they've done it just to... Because I don't know, why not?
I have to interrupt because I'm over here just cheesing, laughing. Cobra, you make the funniest faces when you're listening to other people. Cobra is just over here like looking off in his face and like making these funny faces. I'm sitting here trying not to laugh, and Scratch is like reading all serious.
Man.
But anyway, no, I don't know. So like, what if I guess this is what I was thinking, and I want to ask before I forget. What if the dupe system was cosmetic? What if would that be a positive thing or a negative thing? Like, what if you do it once and your champion turns like golden, and then you do it again, and they have like this particle effect around them, like an aura?
Oh wow! Let me tell you.
Do you think that would work or not?
Than my $16,000 to give me some sparkles. That's what I can't wait for now.
But
my Metro is going to be
say.
so shiny. He's going to be some Megatron guy that comes together. No, just get me.
I agree with you, but how does it not make the whales bigger? How does it not? You said it's a bad thing to increase the gap. If it's not cosmetic, how is it not a bad thing then? Like what would be the right answer then?
Well,
if it can't be cosmetic
Give
and
some
it can't make
resources back to the people. Like, I
give
mean, that's the
resources
obvious.
back.
That's the obvious
It's very
answer. Like,
simple. If you've got 3 dupes, you just join them into one non-dupe.
yeah,
That's
that
it.
I feel like
bingo.
that would be the fair one. 3 non-dupes into one new champion that you don't have. I feel like it costs you a lot of money to get a legendary champion in this game if you're unlucky, bro. Like, look, Piri system, Mercy system for void shards, 220 void shards, right, to guarantee the legendary champion. And it happened to me. I got to 220 till I got a champion. And it's not just me. There's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people out there in the same situation. So to buy that amount of shards, 220 void shards, it costs you $660 at the best price you can get on the market in their shop, right? Would you be happy to use your $660 as a book or as a chicken that you can buy for $5 or $10 in the game?
Yeah, exactly. Well, obviously, I love Cold Brew's idea, but the reason the question I asked about making it cosmetic is to set a baseline of expectation. Like, because if it's not cosmetic, it is going to be a bigger gap, a pay to win. There's no way around it. If it provides benefit, but like, or any way that would enable community interaction. Like once you get a duplicate, you can trade that. Like, or Cold Brew's idea would be fantastic.
I don't think. Here's the thing, okay? The people that do Platinum Arena are going to have to correct me on this because I don't do it. Everyone knows I don't care about Arena. But I don't see it increasing the gap by giving people different legendaries, especially if you can get that many duplicates. Think of it this way, right? The people who are getting duplicates, it's like $10,000. Well, what really advantage is anyone getting over anyone in this game? It's either you have the champions or you don't. It's the gear. You got to still farm the gear. You got to buy the gear and all that if you want to win, right? The gear is the game, not the
100%.
champion. So I don't see a problem with just like give someone a non-dupe. The only thing that takes away is how much money it costs us to get the stupid character, and that's why they don't want to do it. It's because if it gives people free legendaries that are non-dupes, or even reroll, 2 dupes into a random legendary, can be the same guy again, even it could be a dupe or something. But if they did something like that, it's just going to take away from the total money the whales are spending who are getting dupes anyway. So I think that's the real counterpoint, and they're not. There's no way they're going to do something that generous, or even give us like fragments of something so that people can save up and just start doing fusions for free. Like I don't see them doing anything like that. So they're just going to make it stronger. Make the characters stronger all the time, so that way the whales will spend more instead of spending less. Just follow the money, and that's what they're going to do. That's how I see it.
They will do that, man. But even like this, I know so many people quitting this game, whales, right? People that they spend 10, 20, 30, 40 grand in the game. They're like, enough, I had enough of this crap, I'm out of here. Buy, sell the account, buy, crunch the account, buy Plarium, you won't see a penny from me. And there's so many people like this because of dupe systems, because of the CVC, because of all the bad decisions the company's taking. So from my point of view here, they're losing tons and tons of money. If whales like this, they say, I don't want to give you 40 more grand this year, I'm going to go and give it to Marvel. I'm going to go and give it to Super Mario Kart because that game gives me value for my money, makes me feel good, makes me feel like I want to play an
Super Mario Kart?
I just gave a shit example,
Oh, I was like, are there whales on Super? Like, what am I missing? I was like,
I just gave an example. Like, people will go anywhere else than here, So that's bad in a business way as well. I feel like. So I'm just gonna finish to read the last thing here. We expect the solution to come out in the fall. We are sticking to the time frame announced in the Q&A video that came out some time ago. However, the point worth mentioning is that not only we will be releasing the feature, but also adjusting several areas in the game to fit the whole new system. So basically, they will revamp the whole game. They will make everything more difficult. So all the players right now that they don't have a million dupes, they'll be getting clapped in the new content, basically.
Why would you do that? It's so stupid. Like
we lost Darth.
Yeah.
That's why I've been laughing this whole video. It's because it's like I'm just sitting there realizing how stupid, expensive this game. It's just the absolute epitome of they take every part of the worst parts of mobile game, the most cancerous, expensive parts of mobile, and they just. Oh my lord! I mean, sometimes I wonder how can Genshin make more money than Raid? You know what I mean? It's like Raid they're so smart with the way they get the money from the people.
How? Because if I decide to sell a product for $5 instead of 100, more people they're gonna buy the $5 product in terms of millions, while only
You're right.
1,000 they're gonna buy the product of 100, and they cashed up 100K while the other one cashed a million, because then bigger numbers make the bigger money. You know, it's not all about having 5 whales in the game, and especially when when free-to-play low spenders they decide to move away from the game, that's when all the game dies, because 100 whales they're not gonna be happy to play alone in the game, you know.
Yeah, I used to make that same argument in the StarCraft community. Was that every game will die if you don't have a good experience for beginners and people that aren't super ridiculous tryhard, because that's what feeds the game. What feeds the game isn't the top 100. What feeds the game is the millions behind that make a community and drive interaction. So you've got to prioritize those people.
Definitely. Cold Brew, you being really quiet there, bro. Shy about it, like.
I just agree with all of you guys. I've said this 1,000 times, and it feels like even if I say something, if I ask, my viewers, ask you guys, in the end of the day, Plarium is a company. They've got a business plan, and they're sticking with it. They don't really care about us and what we think. Even if we'd like to think that they might see our videos and, we gotta change this. They don't really.
Yeah, we know that. This is just more so
they
inform
have
the people
their
what's
numbers,
gonna happen, you know?
and they know what they'll do with them. And if it
Absolutely.
doesn't work, then it's gonna be really visible within the game.
So they removed the mercy system tracking as well, guys. Like, you already covered this probably in some of your videos, but what was the whole story about that? Like, why they removed it?
Brad's got the best take on it, I think.
As soon as it was getting widespread and popular, they really made it a priority to crack down on it and then pass it off as security infractions that they're worried about happening. And like Darth had said, it's got to be because they're worried about people tracking it, getting frustrated, seeing, because then you get like actual feedback, like, oh my gosh, it's been 180 void shards since I got a legendary. You're getting like actual negative feedback about your spending, and obviously that's the driving force as to why they would want that removed. So what I gathered from talking with Farbstoff, who works on these tools, is that from his perspective, it was a very targeted thing. It was like just about the mercy system. It wasn't about shutting down gear optimizers. It was targeted at the mercy system with how they changed the code and how it interacts with. Now, I'm not a programmer. I'm going by what I was told. So that's kind of the best knowledge I can get about that.
So basically, they've hidden that single thing out of all the rest.
Yeah,
took it away, so we don't have.
It was they said it was very targeted to address that, so that it can't be kind of extracted as live feedback.
Yeah, so they said that it was regarding security issues, but then we have these sort of applications like for over a year now, right? And they never had an issue with it. They never said anything about it. Like, we gotta stop that. So I always said that, yeah, they're gonna discourage you in spending money if you see the tracker, if you see the mercy system. You might be 30, 40 open shards, right? And you're like, oh, well, till the mercy system, I have to open 160 to get guaranteed one. I'm not going to spend money to get 160. Escape, get out of the game, right? Or how you said, they make you realize that you're an idiot and you spend so much money. Basically, I'm one of them. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm in the same group with all of you spending money like that. But basically, it makes you realize that you've been doing something wrong. Same thing like the option we had before to see all the total spendings, you know?
Yeah,
I can't remember how they used to do it, but that disappeared.
Quick. Yeah, that got shut down. Similarly quick as once the mercy system was getting widespread and content creators were pulling up mercy systems when they're pulling shards. It was equally quick. If some of you are new, there used to be a way to submit a support ticket, and then it would take you to a URL, and at the end of that URL there was a number. And that number was equal to how much US dollars you have spent in game. It would be your deposit history. And they passed that.
Can I just point out that it's hilarious that how they track us, like how they track who we are, is by how much money we've spent? I mean, was that not the epitome of just like, ooh, that's a little on the nose, you know what I mean? That just happens to be in the URL. How much money you spent? It's like, come on, man. I mean,
the funny thing, it also said in the URL, it said deposits.
Yeah, you
like
deposit number 6. Deposit number 6 with 5K. he was deposit number 3 with 20K, you know. So yeah,
And
we
you know
will
why
like,
that
like,
is.
I
like
love it.
like tag the
You know why that is though, right?
Mm.
Do you know
Why?
why it would
Why?
show that when you went? Because in the support ticket, now they know like, okay, this person spent $10,000. We really need to like
to deal
make
with
sure. Yeah. Oh, this person's spent 0 in 6 months. Okay, who cares if they quit?
Elite.
Yeah, so that's why it's important for
Priority.
someone to know that going into it. But yeah, it's just it's
Customer
hard
support.
to it's hard to see yourself kind of reduced down to a number, but that's the savagery of the Gacha business market.
No, you gotta at least
And
respect the balls of them, just to always go for the most linear path. You know, it's like a dog that sees a treat and just runs through the highway, just one track mile. I love it, dude. I mean, it makes me laugh every day. You know, they never fail to give me some content to work with. So God bless them.
That's good.
That was like remember when Darth took a break from Raid for like 5 months, and I asked him why or if he misses Raid. Do you remember what you said?
Yes, absolutely. I miss Raid. I'm like, you know how easy it was for Plarium to give me shit to work with? Like they just stab themselves in the back over and over and over again. It's hilarious. You don't even have to try. They just dig their own grave, and it's hilarious to watch. I don't know.
It feels like that's
exactly
what
what
they're
they
honestly doing now. Like CVC, I know it's not. So let me just read this. Stu said something. It's just well worth the CVC. Yeah, it is. We'll be making it more balanced. And I want to stress it here that are not clan wars. Yeah, we know that are not clan wars, but nobody wants to do them. And you're kind of forcing us with the accessories you're giving to break the game. That's why we got no response from them when we all of us jumped on them and said, you cannot bring that stuff in the game because it's not gonna work. What was the response we got from them? Silence. They haven't said, well, we're looking maybe to adjust it. No, they knew that that would be the only way they will force people to play CVC, right? Because they've put them, and even the tag system they have for points and stuff is just like so predatory for it, you know. So it feels like that's what they're doing, doing their own grave.
Can I just take a moment to say something that
Do it.
I really feel bad for the community managers because they get so much backlash and they get so many players yelling at them. Like it's the people above them that are putting them in bad.
I know. Like it's nothing.
Like they're putting them in bad situations where they're forced to answer these questions in a way that is going to make people feel like this. And I just feel bad for these community managers have such a hard job because of the people above them that are making these calls.
I always telling
Hopefully
them,
they
don't
get
take it personal because I have nothing against you. This is aimed to the company, like not towards you. Like, don't take it personal because honestly, it's not their fault at all. You know, they're just doing their job. Like they have to give us the answer that their bosses gives to them. So it's not their fault, 100% no. So don't hate on Banana Jam or Cyrilla or the rest guys. They're just doing their job. It's not their own game. They're not designing it. They don't decide what answers to give us. So it's definitely not their job
they
here.
just
You know.
work there.
To be fair, I
Not
very
their fault.
rarely see people go out of their way to like harass the community managers and stuff. And when they do, I see a lot, like even on Reddit, if someone like says something stupid in response to them, it gets downvoted. You know what I mean? I mean, like we only call out Plarium, not really the community managers. And maybe the official Discord, they're pretty toxic. Maybe they flame them sometimes, but I mean, most times I think most people are pretty reasonable about not harassing the people.
So
that
they are
make
planning to
it.
bring a pity system in the game, right? That's like
A what?
a pity system in the game, mercy system. That's what they said.
Mercy system showcase. I don't mind that people just flame in Reddit or in the comments because hopefully somebody else will see it unless they have it so that Cyrilla has to go and just report whatever the Reddit AMA did. If that's the case, then yeah, don't flame on Cyrilla, but I really hope that somebody else also reads the answers from the players, the additional comments from all the players, and maybe we get something out of it. Maybe we get maybe a second AMA. I don't know. With their additional responses.
You think they would do another one?
Not anytime soon. Maybe when something big comes out, like a patch. I'm thinking September. It's when the next big thing is gonna come, which is gonna be the around the time everybody will be getting Ramun 2. So September. And I think that's when something big is coming to the game.
They just need to hit a home run once on something. What's the last thing they hit a home run on?
Come on, Brad. You're gonna ask us the impossible question here.
No, because there has been some some really good things.
Okay, for me, it's adding rosin as a permanent fusion as an apology for Foley. Like, yeah, they messed up on Foley, which by now standards, Foley would probably be easier than most of this stuff anyway. But so there we did the rosin fusion as an apology for Foley, and they made it permanent. And I actually thought, like at the time, I was like, hey, that's a pretty good response. I actually thought that was pretty good, and the rosin fusion isn't too hard.
I think the Forge is the best thing.
Oh, that's
the
a good answer.
Forge is pretty good, yeah.
The Forge is the best thing that they added to the game. Which
Forge
was
is
after
great, yeah.
Christmas.
It does give you the chance to get some good gear from there.
No, before Christmas. It was before Christmas.
Before, yeah. Like what?
Yeah.
November, September, something like that.
It's the best thing for newer players as well, for endgame players also.
But at the time, we kind of thought it was bad, didn't we? Wasn't that the general sentiment? It's kind of
I had a bad take on it.
It's kind of aged over time to be pretty decent, but because I think at the time,
once you start accumulating some resources, then you see the real value of it. When you craft like 20, 40 pieces, that's when you see the real value of it. Because let's say this, the perception sets, it's like it changes so much for an account. Just being able to craft gear that gives you speed and accuracy. Like my free-to-play account is 10 times better than it would have been if I started the account without the Forge.
Yeah, back before then.
Yeah.
For you arena player, go ahead.
I wanted to ask arena. I'll go after.
I want to ask you a question about, because like I don't really know Platinum, right? Do Swift Parry, is that meta in this day and age? I mean, are people really using it? Because at the time, I had a take that's like, this is basically like kind of moving more pay to win stuff into Platinum Arena, and I didn't really. Now, is that true, or is
it's
Swift
like
Parry not really that meta?
The new reaction accessory is even more cancerous. Like basically, you're not fighting against an opponent. You're not fighting smart necessarily. You're relying on RNG. In most cases, of course. Top 30, top 50 Platinum Arena is kind of different from the rest, but you want to lose to RNG? Like, are you spending money and farming gear and building champions and working on it to lose to RNG? Like, on and on and on. So, is it actually a question here? Swift Parry and reaction accessories. We will keep rebalancing our sets depending on the analytical result. We all hate them. All the endgame players hate them. Because it's just RNG. It gives you zero skill after the money you spent to prepare to gain that skill. So it's just like, okay, I might win the fight, I might not win the fight, and we have reaction. They don't give us enough champions to fight against them in the right way as well, so I feel like they're really, really bad for this. And with the new accessories, a lot of people quit at Arena because it's just jack shit. Pardon my French.
Okay. And for the newer players, can you explain why? Why, like, from a Platinum player's perspective, why it's so awful? Because you just said it's RNG, but you didn't really explain why.
So it's RNG because it procs unkillable on your champion. So you want to wipe the team off, but instead of doing that, the champion is going to get unkillable, revive the rest. Or for a newer player, he's going to go and attack a Kale team. A Kale is on Swift Parry set. He manages to kill the whole team except Kale. Then Kale comes in with a nuke and wipes all his team off. And he's like, something like that. He'll be like, wow, I got wiped because that champion stayed alive when he wasn't supposed to because of the set that's so broken. And then they added the other two sets, the accessories. I forgot the shield one, blood shield or something like that. And they added the other set to Platinum Arena next to Swift, which I forgot his name because he's so bad again. Like, there's no balance in between them, Either you only get the Swift and the rest is just trash, because that's kind of what it is with the new Blood Shield accessories and the old set that's in Platinum Arena, So I feel like they should balance them a little bit, lower that chance to proc on them, because it's just too much RNG, man. It's just annoying. You get frustrated for that to see it all.
It's a coin flip, right? Basically, it's always just a coin flip, more or less.
Even though it feels 50%, when you do it, it just feels like 100,
That's like that data that was posted about Mashaled, how his fear is like 80% successful and it's supposed to be 50-50.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And definitely 100%.
They are talking about fixing the arena, which is this week happening, guys. I know we kind of got stuck a bit on the dupe system here with all the news, but kind of that's like the main thing that we all care about. They are fixing arena this week. They already announced that. Tag team arena apparently will be reworked in ways, bizarre improvements, additional rewards, battle mode modifications, if I'm not mistaken, and we will be having full auto for all the 3 battles, which is great, but it's not really the biggest change that we needed there. But hey, they've done that. Regarding the time, guys, because I feel like this is a very important topic as well, we're not gonna have 4x speed, 6x speed, 10x speed, because that's impossible in doing it by the way
Technical
they explained
difficulties.
it. Yeah, that they cannot do it in this game, so they're planning some other sort of stuff. They said that they are playing the game as well for 6 hours a day, and except
true.
weekends, because the game is like chocolate. If you have it more than 3 times a day, you start feeling sick. So don't have it more than 3 times a day, guys. Play it once, close the game, and don't come back to it. That's kind of like they're telling us what
Because
to
they
do.
work 8 hours, okay? So once they go to work, they open up the game and then they just do their dailies or whatever. And by the time they finished, they can just leave work. So that's why they play 7 hours a day.
Yeah, but I
That's
feel
the
like
only reason. They don't actually play the game.
I feel like it's
None
gonna
of
be
them
another
do.
paywall once something happens regarding the speed of the game. It's gonna be another paywall, you know. 'Cause the way
That's
they said
what-
it,
I'm still stuck on something. How can it be true that technically they can't make the game go faster than 2x? Like,
it's not.
am I
It's not true.
wrong?
It's not
I mean,
true.
how is that? Like that
It's
can't
not.
be.
Everybody can do it. Every single game in the world has it, bro. Like,
Yeah, like
Look,
that's
I
what
think
they
they
said.
can
That's
do
their
it.
excuse.
The only excuse that I would accept for that would be that the character animations would look ridiculous. So that's why they're not doing it.
yeah,
They
that will
wanna
look
keep
ridiculous, 100%.
They want to keep the I don't know, the animation style at the 2x speed, which is the normal speed.
No, they said
Oh
that
my
Because
God.
if you put it on 1x, it's slower, and you realize it's slow.
the main idea is that the game is about making your team faster, spending more
Yeah.
money, more resources
That's
to make
the
better
truth.
team. So of course
The-
you cannot
the-
have 4x if you're not spending more
Yeah.
money. So
The real reason is they want you to be incentivized to build that crazy spider nuke team instead of having a 4-minute team and then just setting it to 5x.
It just
Yeah,
gets
but
annoying. It's like every little thing always has to be on their side. You know, in Guardian Tale is one of the coolest games ever. They have some call it the training room, which what it does is you can always have one character in there. Think of it like our leveling pit, right? You just
Sparring
put one
pit.
character in there, sparring pit. Thank you. And what it does is automatically maxes him out in every way. But you can take him out. He goes back to whatever level he was, and you can just put in a different guy. So you can always have. You can just. It'd be like if a new character comes out. Oh, dope! I want to max this guy out. Remove Nethro or whatever that's in there, put in my Sifi. Now she's completely maxed, but she's not really because she's only in the training room, right? Like, why would they add that into the game? That automatically takes out a lot of incentive to build characters and try them out, right? But it's generosity that does it, and people love that stuff so much they spend tons of money in that game. It's
Yeah, I
like,
feel
why
like-
can't they just
you need to split a bit. Like, you don't have to make it 50-50 with the player base, because of course the house always wins, but give us something as well. Don't just take because we're gonna be tired of giving you, you know. That's the whole idea. Like,
That's why casinos, if you're gonna come gamble, they give you a free hotel room and they give you free drinks. Like you gotta
so
you gotta
stay
give
there.
something.
Yeah, they do have to give you something, because if you don't give us nothing, everybody's gonna leave eventually. Like, we don't just want to rant here, guys. This is because we care about the game, and we're trying to throw out their ways of doing it. If nobody fights for it, nobody's gonna fight for it, and everything's gonna die much faster, right? So the idea is to try to put out some opinions here of what's bad, what's wrong. They're gonna do whatever they want anyway, but hey, at least we know that we tried, right? Rather than just don't do
Four
nothing.
of
And
us.
like, it's great. Yeah, Plarium, you're doing a great job. No, we're telling here our opinions. Yeah, it might sound like a rant, but hey, c'est la vie.
if you have four, like, for the content creators all in the same video, I didn't hear one of us disagree on anyone else's points today. We're all saying the same thing. You have the idiot, you have the platinum guy, you got the cold brew, who does the free to play. We got Brad the banker. All of us have our own little genres and niches, right? And all of us see the same thing. So it's like, regardless, everyone watching this video can find one person in this video they agree with, because that's how I see it. It's absolutely there's a problem. It's not just me saying it. Like, you know, they stop with the greed just a little bit. You know, like you're saying, split it up a little bit. Where's Brad's free drink? You know, Brad's been thirsty over there for a while now.
There you go. I'll share. I'll share my.
Ah, there you go. Very nice. Very
See,
nice.
that's how it kind of works. Sharing is caring. You know, like you care
Sharing
about the
is
player
caring.
base, you give them a nice dupe system. You don't care about the player base, you take them everything so they can live after. You know.
That is
But-
funny. I'm drinking out of a bank coffee tin.
Brad the
point.
banker. Brad the banker. But
First
yeah,
state. Here we go.
I think we covered our main topic here, guys. I do appreciate all of you guys taking your time and joining here on the channel. Big shout out to all of you. For whoever doesn't know them, and if you do know them and you haven't subscribed to their channels yet, guys, make sure you go subscribe to Chosen, Cold Brew Gaming, the free-to-play monster, Dart Microtransaction. I will be leaving their links in the description down below, so make sure you go and click on that subscribe button. Appreciate all of you guys watching. Peace out. Guys, if you want to say goodbyes as well,